I am back. I'm back. I don't know for how long, but I'm back. Anyway, I'm gonna try and do a whip and chat. I haven't yet got. I got back from Australia, got back from California, and I'm here now. So I'm doing a whip and chat, and it's way long overdue because the fact I have been meaning to do a bunch of them before I left and just never got around to it. Yeah, so how is everybody? How are you all doing? I missed all of you. I missed talking with you. I missed chatting with you. I miss seeing a lot of messages. So please, please, please forgive me. Um, but I will go into my trip, my travels, um, the craziness that have come through, and we'll just see where this rolls, right? Um, so I do want to give a couple shout outs. First of all, Rose Prophet. Thank you so much for like letting me stay with you. Of course, my California Valley girls coming in. Um, I had so much fun with you, and I'm so, so, so grateful for the one-on-one time that I had with you and the family. And I just love Kenzie. Oh my gosh. It was so nice to see different things that she started doing while we were there and her interactions with Jackie. And I really love the fact that we got to spend that time with you. Even if I crashed on your couch and took up your couch, or Jackie did, I really do appreciate it. And thanks for trying to stay as active as we are, or we were. Although my activity was a lot less than what it was 20, 30 years ago. But anyway, I really love you. I miss you tons, and you probably won't see this, but um, yeah, I love you. Love you. And to the one and only Joanna, thank you so much for the gifted scarf set that you got me because absolutely helped out. Is we didn't really need it most of the time, but we had to go on a ferry to get to Phillip and Penguin Island, and I can't stay on a ferry underneath. Like I can't go inside. I have to stay above water and or above water. Of course, I'm above water. It's a ferry, right? Um, I have to stay above, like out in the open, to get the breeze and stuff. Otherwise, I kind of get sick. So I'm really, really, really thankful that I had the scarf because um, I had the hat too, but Jackie was borrowing the hat, and I was able to wrap the scarf around and put it on like a mask because it was that long and it was so soft and warm. And thank you so much for that. Um, so I just want to give both of those shout outs. And Michelle, the third shout out. Michelle Mills, love you, girl. I had such a blast spending, what was it, almost 2 days with you. Um, Shopping. We did shopping one time and we were running errands another time. I don't know. But that one-on-one time, I really, I feel so much closer to you now. And I really thank you for that. Um, you're like another sister to me, so thank you. I just want to curl you up and give you huggies. And don't forget to turn the guitar on before you try and go in reverse. Yeah, that's my little suggestion. If you know, you know. If you don't, you'll probably hear it on the live. Anyway, so like, what's been going on with me? Should I do the Valley Girl accent? I'm not going to do it. I'm surprised I didn't pick up on an Australian accent as much as I did. You might hear a little bit of it come out, but I doubt it. Um, Sometimes it might pop. Jackie said I was trying getting a little bit of it, but yeah. So what has happened? Let me go over basics first of all. I am releasing art with Rose Profit Creations. Just to let you guys know, I do have other art that I've been putting on my social media, so you'll see them on Instagram and Facebook. If you haven't already, I've got my links below. So please click on my Facebook and Instagram links and subscribe, please. It'll help me out. Also lets you guys see all the artwork, and sometimes I put stuff out that's not released and I get your feedback to decide what I'm going to release. So it's very important if you guys see something you like to make sure you comment on it, to like it or what have you, because heads up, ones with the high votes are going to be released. I'm just saying. Um, But anyway, yeah, so that's that. I've got a few more Halloween stuff coming out outside of what I did with Rose Profit. So if you own a small business or have a small business that does diamond paintings and you're interested, I do license them. So just give me a shout out. Just putting that out there as a little pre-business stuff. I am diamond painting Rose Profit Creations, art by Rose Profit. Um, this is our one and only Audrey Hepburn. She is a 60 by 60 square. I am absolutely loving her. I am going through this phase where I'm trying to finish up diamond paintings I've already started, whether or not there is a event going on with it, just because I want to get things situated. And I did leave, just as a heads up, there's nothing wrong with these images. I did leave some areas. I put my hand over this like way too many times when I type. So right in this area, there's like no stickiness. So I'm going to have to get some Mod Podge, which I have somewhere right here. I just use this. I dip in, you know those little plastic pens we get with our things? I just dip it in and just kind of go over it like this and get it a little wet. So I'll probably use these little plastic pens that I got from my Artdot box. My big Artdot box. And then what else am I using? Of course, licensed Audrey Hepburn pen. I don't know which way you're looking at this. You're probably going to look at it this way. So that's Audrey Hepburn pen. Ms. Laura Ann from Bistro Blanks did this. We did get permission from Rose to use the artwork, but if you see any artwork by either me or Rose that you'd like to have in a blank, then just let us know. We'll be more than happy to see about getting that out there for you with a blank of wherever. Anyway, just let us know if you want to use our art as a blank. And I'm open to it. I know Rose is, and I know Laura Ann at Bistro Blanks is up for that as well. So what else am I using? I am using Firefly trays. Now this is the Traveler. I'm doing my little spool, so if you don't like it, just zip on through. But I haven't shown you guys really the Firefly tray. I think I did an unboxing. Now, I did lose a piece, and I'm going to have to ask them see if they can make me one more. But there's a little funnel that goes through here, and I lost the funnel. I think I lost it. I don't know where it is. So, Rose, if you hear this and you see it, let me know, please. Otherwise, yeah. But I like this because if I have large things I was working on, then I use the bigger trays. If I had smaller ones, I was able to use the smaller ones. And this one still has part of my snack in it because I actually was putting little snacks in here because I didn't need these pieces. Yeah, that's how I rolled. But I do like these sizes, and then I was using these sizes when I had a little bit of a confetti. And I would just put like the bag next to it. And it worked really, really well, especially with the special drills I was doing because I was working on specials, and it worked perfectly for it. So now I'm going to use this. Yes, I will. And we are going to diamond paint. See, the accent changes, guys. I'm telling you, I'm just, ooh, lost. But I don't know how well my putty is working, so we're just going to deal with that because I can't remember how long ago I replaced my putty, and my putty's packed. So I might have, no, I don't. Oh, yes, I do. I have some putty right here I can use. I'm not going to mention the shop name because, yeah. But here we go. I am going to start diamond painting, and we will talk about my trip. So I have been out in the real world for about 23 days or so. I started a trip to California, and I was connecting out to Australia. I was going to do like a direct flight, but since I was going through California anyway, I had to separate the flights. I don't know if that was the most economical way of doing it, but at least it gave me like 6 or 7 days to where I can spend time with my sister and her family because they were, my oldest niece was headed off to college for the first year, and my other niece is going to be her sweet 16 this November, so yay on that. And I was able to get some time with them, and I saw my aunt, and it was just really, really awesome. And then 5 days after, I shipped off to Australia for a really long flight, and oh my God. All right, so leaving from California, Customs was, I mean, I didn't go through customs in California because I was leaving California. So I just had made sure I had my passports with me and Jackie and our visas because we needed visas as well. Although I didn't show them the visa, it was already registered. So Delta has a pre-flight thing where you can register your visa electronically. So that's what we did. And I think Australia is the only one that requires a visa. I don't really know why, but because nobody else does that I'm aware of, but who knows. Anyway, I almost forgot about doing the visa before we left, so I had to do that within the month that we were leaving. So I was really nervous about making sure I had it done. And then when I was doing my daughter's, hers got denied, and I had to send additional information out to them. And I was so worried that I wasn't going to have time for all this. I was sweating bullets. I had anxiety. Ugh, it was awful, but everything got approved and we were able to leave the country. So that was good. Her visa's good for 5 years. I think mine's good for another 4 years or until next year. I think it's until next February it'll expire. So I'll have to get a new one. I'll need to get a new driver's license because they're just make sure if you guys travel that you get the new driver's licenses because they have to be done. I think it is by March or May 2025. Um, so if your licenses are up for renewal, make sure you get the higher level license just so you don't have to do it later on, especially if you travel like me. Um, but so yeah, so we took the flight. The flight was great. I had upgraded seats for the Australia part. Um, Major difference when you lose about 80 pounds how those seats fit and feel. So everything was really good. Fit into everything, no problem at all. Not that I want to go into that, but yeah, so I wasn't impressed with the food. I did have a low calorie diet, I think it was, where I was hoping that the food would taste good, but no. It was basically, I needed a lot of protein, and the low calorie ones do not have a lot of protein. Like my daughter had more protein than I did, so it kind of just stunk. But I really wasn't that hungry anyway, and I think I had some of her stuff. Um, but the flight out to Australia, they do give you a lot of food and a lot of snacks. Basically, it's like unlimited. But I mean, come on, how many chips and cookies can you eat on a flight without getting sick? So, yeah. Um, but besides that, the food, it was reasonable. I was able to eat it, so that's all good. Um, Movies were okay. I saw most of them, so it wasn't really a big deal. I think I personally slept most of the time out to Australia, so y'all thought I was going to get jet lag. Guess what? This girl didn't get jet lagged, didn't get jet lag coming home either. So, yay. Daughter has, though. When we first got to Australia, she was sleeping till like 10 or so, I think. And then coming back from Australia, she sleeps till like 11, 12. So, yeah, I only have like 2 more days to get her back on her schedule. I think today she was in bed before. I had her in bed at like, I think at 9 and she didn't go to sleep till like 10:30. So, I even gave her like a Tylenol PM to try and knock her out. But that girl's stubborn. So, yeah. But that's the flight information. Getting into Sydney, I will go into that because, oh my God, that was drama central. That was like panic mode. So we get into Sydney. Sydney, you have to collect all your bags. You not only go through immigration, but then you go through customs. And I didn't realize there was two of them that you had to go through. So that kind of sucked because the line for customs or immigration, whatever you want to call it, was quite long. Like we had a 2 hour, a little bit over a 2 hour leeway between the plane, the plane to get to Melbourne, or excuse me, Melbourne. And within that period, I was pretty much at customs most of the time. Once I got out of customs, I then had to wait for them to do another check on my bags for some odd reason. I guess because of my daughter's medication, which they didn't even bother looking at. They didn't even bother opening the bag. So I really don't know what the big deal was, but it was just another means of us having to wait. They didn't let us go ahead of people when I told them that, we had to catch a flight. So we were on the verge of missing our flight to Melbourne. And I basically, when I got out of customs, I didn't know which way to go because there's absolutely no signs. And airline we had was Virgin Australia, but somehow that uses Qantas. So our passes didn't say Qantas, it said Virgin Australia. And so they're telling us, no, you need to get on Qantas. I said, that's not our plane. We need Virgin Australia. Well, that's not here. That's run by Qantas. And I'm like, it was so confusing. So one person sent us to the end of the area, told us that we had to get on a shuttle to get to the airline. And I was like, well, okay. So I started walking in the direction. I went outside and then I saw some people sitting down. I'm like, yeah, we need to check in. This is the flight that we're checking into, blah, blah, blah. And he says, oh no, you need to go all the way down that way and turn in your bags and then you take the shuttle. I was like, oh, fucking hell. Excuse the language, but that's really what I was feeling. And we had to run all the way to the other end, like seriously run to make our flight. And we get there and they're like, oh, you're not going to make your flight. We need to find another flight for you. And I'm like, are you serious? And they've already rescheduled our flight twice. So at this point, I already know the flights are going to be booked up. Okay. Um, Plus, I had somebody that was waiting for me, Miss Rose, to pick me up. So while she's checking me in, trying to I said, you can send my bags through. I don't care. My bags can come at another time. Put my bags on another flight if they're not going to make it. But my butt is getting on this flight. Oh, no, you're not going to make it. Let's start looking for another flight for you. And so they started looking for another flight. And I guess they called out to the people and asked if I. They were like, well, the plane's on final boarding. I said, well, if it's on final boarding, then I'll make it. Call them up and let them know I'm on my way. Because they already know that I'm connecting and they already know that my plane's late and it's not my fault that the plane was late. And that your customs took so long and that I was misdirected. So she basically, I guess, was talking to them and said, okay, check in your bags. You're going to have to run though, like seriously, run and hurry so you can make the plane. I knew very well that they were going to hold it for us. However, I wasn't going to miss this plane, right? So I had my tennis shoes on, and luckily Jackie had some tennis shoes on, I guess, as well. I can't remember. But we both were running. Like, and I'm so proud of her for keeping up and I'm so proud of myself for keeping up because I wouldn't have been able to run as fast as I did and as long as I did if I did this a year ago. So thankfully, with the weight loss, I was able to actually run. And I mean, we physically ran from one side of the airport all the way to the other. And then we had to run, it was about a 10-minute drive on the shuttle to get to the next area where we had to depart. And then I had to run all the way from getting off that shuttle, get checked in, blah, 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 because, you're outside the airport. So we had to get rechecked in, go through the scanning system. And then I had to run to the gate, and the guys like quickly taking our tickets and stuff to get us on that plane. And so luckily we were able to get on the plane and they held it. So that was a hot mess and a half. I hate Sydney Airport. The last time I went to Sydney was in the year 2000, but I actually ended up staying in Sydney, so I didn't have to deal with all of this. But yeah, Sydney connecting flights, just be wary. Get there at least, schedule like a 3 hour break in between your connecting flight if you're leaving out of Sydney, just so you can get through customs or immigration or whatever the heck they want to call it on time. That's my suggestion. So then we finally get out of the airport. Um, we changed clothes because we were in summer clothes still, and we had to get in winter clothes because it was still pretty cold. It was early in the morning, like 10, and it was probably like 60 degrees or so. Um, but it was good. It was good. And then we had to go for a long walk to get to the car. And then on the way home from the car overheated. Um, so yeah, so that was fun. But we finally got to the house and were able to relax, and we just chilled for like the first couple of days. Didn't really do anything. We ended up going to Werribee Mall. I think that was oh, or did we go to Little Mall first? No, we went to Werribee Mall for the first time. Um, and we were walking, and I was so proud of Rose because she actually did quite a bit of walking and she lasted. So I was so happy she was able to do that. But we found this really inexpensive clothing place, and we got these really fluffy or I got this really fluffy jacket that, oh, was so warm. Oh my God, I loved it. We basically, Jackie wore it everywhere. I wore it everywhere. It was so worth it. And I went back to get another one, but the second one I got, when I was coming home, I didn't realize that the pockets were torn on the bottom. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to seal those up. I don't know how, but it's still worth it. It was a clearance one, so that's probably why. But they were really fluffy and warm, and I was so happy I had them. I didn't have to wear my heavy jacket that weighs a ton, so that was really, really good. And so we did that, and then we kind of relaxed. And then Friday, I think was the first time we really got out and into the city. That was fun. Rose hates driving the city, but I really appreciate her doing that. And we got another little um, baby step off her checklist. And we were able to have English high tea. Michelle came in and spent the day with us, actually, the whole weekend with us. And that was a lot of fun. I got to hang with her and do stuff with her. And the high tea was incredible. So worth it. Had all different sandwiches, different desserts. Of course, we had the tea, and it was just wonderful. Best experience ever. I would highly recommend having a high tea service, I should say. It's worth the money, trust me. So we did that, and then we came back and kind of chilled for the weekend. And then I think Monday, yeah, Monday we went to the aquarium, the Melbourne Aquarium. And then we walked all of the CBD. The CBD is the Country Business District, or the City Business District, I think is what it stands for. And yeah, and the GPS on our phone. Thank God Rory gave us a phone to use, so I'm so thankful for that. But the GPS on it just sucked, and I didn't know which direction I was turning, so we literally walked up streets like 4 times because it would tell me to go in this direction, and then the mapping would change to the opposite direction, like I passed it or something, and I know I didn't pass it. So it was just so confusing. Jackie was done with walking at that point. Like, oh my God, yeah, it was really, really bad. She turned into Little Miss Grumpy Pants. I don't blame her because if you're walking back and forth and your mama doesn't know where she's going, it gets frustrating. So I don't blame her. Um, but it was a long day. It was a super long day. I think it's the most that we walked. We walked for about 5 or 6 hours. Um, but we did see a few things. We saw, didn't do everything I wanted, which is okay. Just gives me a reason to go back and do more. But we walked through the alleys. The alleys there, they have all different types of graffiti art in those alleys. So we got to see quite a few of them. Not all of them that I wanted to, but we did see quite a few. And so I'll be posting pictures of all that at some point. Oh Lord, that's going to take me a while to do though. There were a lot of pictures. Um, but we did that. What else did we do that day? I think we just took pictures around town. I wanted to go to the Melbourne jail. I didn't get a chance to do that though. We found the library, so we walked by the library. Jackie was not into any of the food, so it was really hard to find some place to eat for her. So that made her even more complainy. So it wasn't a good day for her, and it didn't make mommy have a good day either. But we trekked through it, and I did the best I could for her. But yeah, it was just walking nonsense back and forth. And could we have taken the trolley? Yeah, we could have taken the trolley. But did I want to? No, I didn't want to. But it was a good walk. It was really good walk. So that was the city. Um, and we went into city about 3 times, I think, because I had my city pass. So we went in there about 3 times. Um, the second time we went into the city, what did I do there? Ugh, I can't even remember what I was doing. Oh, I went in on we went on a tour. So we did Phillip Island and we did Penguin Island. So we went into the city for that as well. And that was really cool. That was not an early trip, so that was good. It was a long bus ride though, I'll be honest. We both kind of fell asleep on the bus. The bus driver or the tour driver was really, really good, but the one on Phillip Island that we had, like he didn't really talk or anything. It was just really boring. Couldn't hear. No fun. Um, so we just fell asleep on it. We went in a big old off-roading type RV, so took picture of that. That was pretty cool. We saw a koala and a baby in the tree where we had lunch, so that was exciting. And then on Phillip Island, we got to hunt for um, koalas. And hunt, I don't mean hunt as in, kill. I mean hunt is like, let's look in the trees and see if we see any, call it out when you drive by, that type of hunting. Um, or spotting, I should say. That's a better term for it, right? So we got to be lookouts for the koalas, and Jackie and I were on it. Like, we weren't missing that. So we spotted them, and she called them out, or I would call him out, and he would stop, and we'd go out and take pictures and look. And then we ended up going to where we had lunch, and we got to see the baby and the mommy. And then there was a bunch of cows, and there were supposed to be horses, but the horses weren't around. And then we saw some penguins, peacocks. There were some peacocks roaming around as well. So it was all pretty cool. Some really cute dogs that Jackie grew attached to, that were funny, jumping up and down trying to say hi. And then we went off to Phillip Island or Penguin Island and we saw the penguins. And we had to wait about 20 minutes. It was pretty cold. Um, they were like 20 minutes late, 15, 20 minutes late getting out of the water, but we were all looking in the water. It was getting really dark, so you couldn't see. And then it was so cool because you saw the water reflections and there was rocks, in the water, big old lava looking rocks. And then you hear the waves crashing, and then all of a sudden you see all those white outline of like white, sparkling white coming at, that just all of a sudden appear. And those were the penguins. And it was like magic how they were there and then all of a sudden they were there. So that was pretty cool. Jackie got excited about that. That was a pretty cool, awesome thing to experience. But we were supposed to get like a tour guide thing, a ranger discussion, and that never happened. So kind of upset about that. If it did, then we were not in the right area for it because I didn't hear anything. So that was a little disappointing. But that overall, it was really, really fun. It was a great experience, and I'm glad Jackie got to do that. Um, oh, and then we went to Werribee Zoo, and we went with Rose to Werribee Zoo, and Kenzie and Michelle. So all four of us went. And it was a long day for that too, but it was fun. Jackie and I got lost on they had like a swamp path. I don't know what it's called, but it was a walk and it goes down into the swamp area. We had no idea where we were going. There were no signs. So we're just walking around in the swamp trying to get back to where we needed to go. We eventually did get out of it and ended up right where we were. And like, yeah, we were trying to get back to the entrance, and that was a big epic fail. But with that, we did we got up close to the koalas, and oh my God, they're so cute. We couldn't touch them, and I know that there's ones that are trained or, you know, handled by people a lot more and are more comfortable with it, but I can't see myself doing it. Plus, we weren't in any areas that had that opportunity. And a lot of it now, I think due to COVID, they've taken that option away just to be more protective of the kangaroos. I don't know if it's because of COVID or not, but I think the ranger or the zoo guide was saying that they're doing a lot more away with it to protect the koalas. So it's definitely understandable, and that's okay by me. So yeah, we saw the kangaroos up close, and then we went on a little safari, and oh my God, it, mm, the safari ride, ooh, Lord have mercy, those kids were loud. Like that was the most ridiculous thing ever. Like, yeah, did we see the animals and stuff? Yeah, we did. It was pretty cool. But I just you can't hear anything on the trip because the microphone wasn't loud enough. Then you had all these kids screaming and hollering and hooting for no reason whatsoever, and parents weren't even shushing them. Which, to an extent, I know it's outdoors, kids are having fun, but I wanted to hear what was being said, and I couldn't hear anything. And we were in the first car right behind the driver that was talking, so go figure. But yeah, the animals on there were pretty cool to see them out in the wild. We saw giraffes. Um, oh, what else did we see? So many things, so many things. Then we came home. Oh, the first day we were there, I forgot. We did stop at the beach. I don't want to say the beach, but the wharf. And so we got to get some pictures with Kenzie on the beach. And Jack Witchy and I collected seashells, and Kenzie was having fun throwing rocks in the water. So that was a lot of fun. And then, yeah, we had a lot of days where we just really didn't want to do anything. We just kind of wanted to chill. So, kind of recover. I didn't have as much energy as I was hoping, that I had last time that I went. Last time I went, I was like in my 30s. So I was hoping to have the same amount of energy, but you just don't. You don't have that much energy. So the whole first week, Rose kept saying, like, I can't keep up with you, or you guys are just go, 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 but we really didn't do anything. So I had all this stuff that I wanted to do planned, and I really wanted to go on the Billy train. The Billy train is just this old steam train, but it was all booked up because Lord knows me, I wait till last minute to do stuff. And then I couldn't decide what type of trips to do for our tours, and so that took longer to set up. We ended up missing a tour and had to pay for it because of the fact I booked it on the wrong day, but I'm kind of happy that I didn't do it. I was wanting more of the Aborigines type of tours, and the area I was finding that we stayed in, there was nothing wrong with it at all. Please don't get that through your head. But it was wine country. Like it was wine country and food country. And I can't eat a lot of food, and I don't drink wine. So, yeah, but that's where most of the tours were geared towards. I think if we were more up north, we would have had that experience a lot more, but it's all good. I think we canceled our harbor tour cruise. We were going to do a harbor cruise. I was just way too tired. Like, I didn't want to do that. And we had a chocolate tour afterwards, and um, it wasn't something I needed to do. And Jackie just wasn't feeling it. She was already exhausted, and her feet were sore, and she was tired, and I just didn't want to be dragging her around. So I canceled that, and I was kind of happy I did because it just gave me some time to relax. And then we had Jackie's birthday the Friday before we left, and Michelle was there, Rory, and no, was Kenzie there? I think Kenzie already went to bed when we did it. Um, but it was fun. Rory bought her some art stuff, arts and crafts things and whatnot, and velvet cupcakes that I ended up babysitting Kenzie on Saturday, and we made cupcakes for the party. Um, yeah, so it was a lot of fun. I just wish it wasn't as expensive to get out there because I would go out there again. So we're trying to make it where we can go for Jackie's graduation from middle school or junior high before she goes into high school. So we'll have to see if we make that trek again. I'm not so sure. It is a pretty expensive trip, especially if you go during the regular season. Um, but yeah, so that was a lot of fun. Then we came home and again had issues through the Sydney ports trying to get through everything and being misdirected once again, but we did leave early enough for all of that. Actually, we left too early, but it's all good. And thank you, Michelle, for taking us back to the airport. Oh, the Great Ocean Road. I forgot about that. We did the Great Ocean Road. It was Rose, Kenzie, me, and Jackie. And we had to end up renting a car for the week so we could get around. So thank you, Rose, for doing that. And that way Kenzie could get to school. And we ended up doing the Great Ocean Road. The whole time that week, the last week I was supposed to be there, it was supposed to be raining, which was what was making it so hard to plan my trips, in terms of what outings I wanted to do. But luckily, it did not rain at all until I think that very last day. So I was very happy about that. Even when we went to the Great Ocean Road, it was supposed to rain. It didn't rain until we were pretty much done with our entire trip. And that was just awesome. But the 12 apostles are supposed to be there. I think there's only two now. We only saw two. But it was a great experience. It was a beautiful drive. We saw umbrella cockatiels or white umbrella cockatiels. They're just flying like in flocks out in the skies. I've only seen them up close as pets, but to see them just flying freely in flocks is just like, oh my God. It was like very surreal. I felt like I was in Rio de Janeiro or Brazil with all the tropical birds flying around. So yeah, that was cool. And all we were going through the forest area and whatnot. They had kangaroo warning signs. Of course, we didn't see any kangaroos, but I don't think we saw any kangaroos other than the zoo. But we're in the outskirts of the city, so. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Then we came back to California and whoo, Jackie had jet lag again. But I think she slept this time on the plane, but she's been suffering with jet lag. Like she's been going to bed like 10, 11 o'clock at night, if not later. And I'm gonna have to take away the iPad because I think that's where a lot of it's coming from. So that's gonna be very hard on her, but that's gonna be locked out. So, California, we were running around and we went to go see my aunt when we came back, and we went shopping with my cousin, or my niece, Jackie's cousin. Had some one-on-one time with her, and then uh, every time I go out to California, my sister's husband always wants to go out to eat. I'm just like, one, I didn't want to spend the money. Two, I'm not really going to eat stuff. So I was just like, okay, whatever. But it's like we always have to go out to eat. And it's just like, I don't want to have to go out to eat all the time. But shit, food is so expensive out there. Like, I want to come home to North Carolina and just have my meals here. Um, did I stick with my diet? I lost, I think, 2 or 3 pounds when I went to Australia during that time. I don't know if it was the scale lying or not, but it said 2 or 3 pounds. And I'm trying to hold it off, but I came home and we had some really good poi bowls. Oh God, what are they called? Like, I don't know. It's just a mishmash of like Oriental food, I guess is how I'm going to say it. But it was just really interesting how they do it. So we did that. Oh, I just realized I needed to get art supplies, I think. Sorry, I just saw art items that we needed to get. Guess I'll be doing that tomorrow. Oh, do well. All right. See? So that's what I did while I was out there. I did have my egusi soup. I was so excited to have my egusi soup. I had that once when I was out here. I don't know if you guys heard me talking about it, but I did have that when I was out here, and I absolutely loved it. And I just mixed up my drills. Hold on. I just mixed up my drills. But I was able to have some of that before I left. I wanted to get some wool yarn while I was out in Australia, but I never got to the place to do it. And then I wanted to get some when I was in California because they had a Joann's out there I wanted to check out. Never got to do that. We were just way too exhausted for any of that. Let me get these out. Sorry, guys. But yeah, so I'll be loading up pictures at some point. I've got a lot of regular work to do, a lot of cleaning of the house, a lot of art stuff I have to work on for releases and stuff. So I will get those images out as quickly as I can for you guys in terms of the pictures from the trip because I really do want to share those with you. Um, but yeah, so that was my trip, and then I come home and we just got home Wednesday night. Thursday I have to go to work at 8 o'clock in the morning. I managed to do it, so I was very happy. And then I have this Friday, which was today, and Saturday to recover. So we did a lot of back to school shopping because we hadn't done anything. I was trying to do a lot of it online, but then I know they were out of a lot of stuff, so yeah, she got to pick out some birthday stuff from Daddy, and Daddy paid for all her back to school stuff, or at least most of it. So that was the exciting thing that we did today. We actually didn't get out of the house until about 2 or 3, which sucked because I was hoping to get out about 10. But that's all okay. It's not a problem. We got what we needed to get done. Um, yeah, so tomorrow I'll be doing chores, cleaning up the book stuff and cleaning house, putting away our travel stuff, and hopefully get back to reality. Hopefully Jackie will get to bed at an earlier time, which will be nice. And then I've just got to work on videos and other stuff for Rose Profit Creations. So that's pretty much been my life. If you are watching Rose Profit lives, we are only doing those on Wednesdays now with an occasional pop-up or two, depending on what's going on. But I am going to give this little thing out to you guys. We have experienced a theft in the art industry. So Rose has noticed that a lot of her art were available on different budget company sites without her permission and with her watermark on those images and in a reduced size from what her sizes are. So please be aware. If you see Rose Profit on budget sites, there's only, I think, 2 or 3 companies that she is um, licensed with, and those are official diamond painting small shops, not budget companies. Please give us a shout out. You can either message her or me directly. Yeah, so we can get it looked into. The budget companies, I think 2 have made apologies about it, and the other 3 have taken the artwork down. I'm not sure what's going on with the others, but she is putting information on the home of Rose Profit Creations, and I think Rose Profit Creations business page as well, if you need to check in on that. If you have any questions, you feel free to message us on the business pages or privately. That's perfectly fine. But it has delayed getting new art out because she's had to go through about 700 pages of images with one of the companies to identify at least 30 images that were stolen. So if you happen to see anything, definitely let the artists know. Usually you can message them on their social media sites if you ever see that happening. Um, Randall Spangler was another one, and I think he's just basically given up because it's, yeah. But that's his issue to deal with, or his licensing companies to deal with. But not sure what that noise was. Um, so yeah, just keep your eye out if you happen to ever see, artwork that is licensed out on a not unlicensed site. Just let them know. It's not right that you're taking away money from artists when you steal art like that. And I know people, it's a hard for people to afford, licensed artwork, and I get that, but also, it hurts us when you take unlicensed art from budget companies instead. So just keep that in mind. I'm not going to slap anybody's hand, but just be aware of who you are doing business with. And, if you can, make sure that the work is licensed. And that's all I'm going to say on that. But yeah, that's what's been taking up a lot of time. And I want to thank Libby and several others for helping identify, and researching it, especially because I haven't been around to help out. And I really do appreciate that. So thank you so much. And who knows what tomorrow will bring. I will be doing the Retro Cult Classic coming up February of 2024. So Christopher, me, and Brandy will be doing that. I do have some images that are out. I will be putting it on that page so you can order in time. I would order 3 or 4 months ahead of time so you can get them in if you are going to be ordering from Rose Profit Creations, especially. Put a comment in your order letting us know that it is for the Retro Cult Classic, or anytime you order from Rose Profit Creations, put a note in there that what event it's for so we are aware of it and can keep better track of your images to make sure that they are there on time. Not giving anybody else, trying to push through anybody else. So please don't get that misunderstanding. It just helps us to keep track and do our best from our end. We can't do anything with the supplier, but do the best from our end to get those out to you as long as they are ordered within a 12-week window. If you're ordering it in less than a 12-week window, then, if it's like 4 weeks away, then there's not much we can do to help out with that. But try and get any orders you're doing for events in at least 12 weeks ahead of time so that way you will have it in your hands by that 12th week at the absolute latest. Um, that's just my little suggestion. But other than that, I don't know. Should I wrap it up? What else is going on? I don't know. Daughter starts school on Monday, so this sleeping situation better get under control by then. Um, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of stuff that she's going to have to take to school. I'm not sure how we're going to get it to them or how she's going to take it, especially because we missed back to school night. And I just don't know. I might have to take it on my lunch or something, but I'm not going to worry about it. I've got to get everything situated and organized for her, so she may have to take 2 bags to school for the first day. I don't know. I probably should have gone earlier in the day so that way I can take some of this stuff in the afternoon to the school for her teachers, but unfortunately that couldn't be done. So, I think I'm gonna wrap it up so that way I can hopefully get this video out to you on Saturday, like totally. Um, and then I will see you on a live on Rose Profit's channel, which is home of Rose Profit Creations, on our Tuesday from 8 to 10 Eastern Time, and at least through Diamond, through what is called daylight savings while that's still active, and then I think it goes back to 7 to 9 p.m. And I will try and start attending lives again. I don't know if I'll be able to. As far as events go, I do want to support everybody with their events, but I need to clean up stuff that I've already started. So I will give you shout outs for events if I can, if I'm not already participating. I do apologize, but I'm just trying to clean things up for this year. Because I want to start working on my art and my stuff and ordering my things. So I told myself I can't really do that until I start clearing out what I already have. So that's what I'm working on. And I'll probably be working on things that have more color blocking first because those I can get done quicker. And while we all know that diamond painting is take your time and relax, for me, I like to hurry it along and see what the finished product looks like and feel like I've accomplished something. So that's just because I am a, what is it? I'm a goal setter, so I set goals to do that. And one of the goals should be to slow down and single place, but no, that's not going to happen. I don't have the patience for that. I don't have the patience to sit on an image for so long. I like my images to be like 2 or 3 weeks. But I do need to slow down and take care of personal stuff, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go have my protein shake and try and get some art edited, I think, before I go to bed. And I will bless you guys with good tidings. Have a wonderful day. I missed you. I'm so glad to be back. And hopefully we'll chat on the flip side. So take it easy. You guys have a blessed morning, afternoon, or evening, depending when you're watching this. Stay true to yourself. Be kind, be smart, be wise, and love y'all. Bye. Give me a thumbs up if you like this. Comment below as well.